I love the fitness industry for this reason, because you're able to make modalities and wellness accessible to the masses. How do you make it commercial? Again, you need to target who your demographic is, who your client is, who your member is, and from there you choose your offering. And over time, we've sort of seen two ways that people are going about it. Are you adding that additional tier, or are you charging that one-off session? Which I don't love the one-off session. I think the additional tier is where fitness has the advantage, and building out the offering and building out a flow and protocol that fits that demographic.
High-end wellness used to sit on the fringe, premium, exclusive and out of reach for most. Now it's moving fast into the mainstream. Recovery, longevity and performance are no longer nice to have, they're becoming expected inside fitness. Today we're joined by Anna Davies, founder of Refined Wellness and a leading voice in premium wellness, to unpack the global trends shaping this space and what they mean for the future of commercial gyms. Let's get into it.
That whole sort of area where you reside is very health conscious.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting because I was talking to the guys that got the Anytime there, because Anytime's historically rely on, there's an element of not just Anytime, but traditional 24/7 gyms, there's an element of non-attendance that they rely on. Otherwise, if every one of your members came, you probably couldn't fit them all and you wouldn't make any money.
So you got 2,000 members, they all come on a Monday night at 7 p.m.
Yeah, done work. Exactly. Burleigh being the type of demographic that it is very health conscious. So they've got a bunch of clubs. Their Burleigh club has higher attendance per member than any of their other ones. Does that make sense? Because that whole demographic is very fit, focused on being well.
You walk down my street, like on the main street, and there's a naturopath, 3 Pilates studios, all the this is a prime example. The BP is a health food shop.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So it's got like kimchi and sauerkraut and all your health supplements, and it's all organic. They don't stock anything not organic.
That's cool.
The BP, it's so good.
You don't get that at a local BP.
No, you don't get that at down south either. You go down there and you go, what's that, mate? You want sausage roll? You want a big one or a small one?
Steamed or fried dimmies?
Yeah. They've got diversity. Do you think that's just, is wellness and recovery driven a lot by geographic location in your experience? Do you see like the Gold Coast is beautiful, it's sunny, it's bright early, it's bright late? Do you see different, because you travel quite a lot, do you see that different geographic locations drive different wellness modalities?
Absolutely. Like I actually think Melbourne is probably one of the most advanced in longevity.
Really?
Yeah. It's the only place in Australia that has Prenuvo, which is like a option of DEXA, pretty much. And I think...
What's it called?
Prenuvo, Prenuovo. Yeah.
Henry can put that up on the podcast notes.
Just a visual of the spelling up on the screen as well, if you could.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying it right, so I was like, I'm just going to spell it out.
Is it, so do you think, and then how is that different to, say, the Gold Coast, or in your experience? Is it more...
I think the Gold Coast is more sort of bathhouses, and whereas longevity, it's rare to find hyperbaric chambers and red light therapy and advanced modalities, IV drips.
Do you reckon this will be... And I'll say it. Do you reckon like the Goldie might be a bit more superficial sort of wellness, whereas there's genuine, the places you're talking about are genuine things that people are doing for their longevity and health?
It's an interesting way to put it. I think when you say superficial, that's how I used to always think of the Goldie, but that's sort of the northern end of the Gold Coast.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, it was probably a bad word, but more like your traditional things, like just to be able to train more and recover better, like more recovery, entry-level type spaces.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Everyone's very fit on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
It's all revolved around training. Like us on the weekends, it's where are we going for a run, what class are we doing, not necessarily.
And so is Melbourne more like the longevity, you said something earlier, it was like the higher level of services or the...
Advanced.
Advanced.
Yeah. they're doing a lot more testing as well, and maybe that's driven by Gurner and everything he's doing with St. Haven. But, you know, you look at MyGene or Everlab, they're the sort of testing clinics that then go into those advanced modalities, which are red light and hyperbaric and cryo. But when you look at the Gold Coast, there's not really any testing clinics. It's all bathhouses or recovery.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's more that trendy sort of stuff that people want to do.
Every day.
It's part of their training every day. It's part of their lifestyle.
Yeah. And maybe Melbourne, I think, is sort of targeting those high corporate people, whereas Gold Coast is more the younger, fitter aesthetic.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting that it's the segments carving out sections even within itself? Like, we look at it from a predominantly a health and fitness point of view, I think, and you're looking in and saying, okay, well, how are gyms doing this? How are fitness facilities doing this? And even in that, there's segments. But just in the longevity and the wellness section itself, there's just so many segments already.
So many.
Do you find, is that why it's so hard to understand what wellness is and like how people activate it or create a service that, you know, they can commercialise, or because there is so many?
Absolutely. Like today, even the difference of calls, one was a private home, one was a franchise, then one was a corporately owned club, and they're all wanting to add it, but it's, what do we do? How do we model it? What are we putting in there? And I was like, well, who do you want to target? And from there, that's sort of how you decide what modalities to add in.
So that's where you start.
Yeah.
It's like central user, and then you build around that.
Yeah. And back to the geographic thing as well, that's how you build around it, because there's corporate and franchise-owned clubs, but this one model that we thought was going to be right in one location, and you can't just, 10x that in different locations.
Yeah, a cookie cutter approach between Sydney, Melbourne and the Gold Coast. We just talked that they're different users.
You've got to adapt it, yeah, totally.
Better coffee in Melbourne, surely.
Oh.
Said from two Queenslanders, that's good. Write that down, H.
No, I have heard you have the best coffee.
We
here,
do.
But
We do.
I was here 15 years, and I reckon the coffee in Queensland is just as good.
Depends where you go.
Welcome, Anna.
Thank
We haven't done a welcome yet. This is take 2. We have tried this once before.
I'll take full responsibility for the first mishap.
So for the listeners
But
out
if this
there,
one's no good, we'll blame Jerem.
we tried once before. Barry left us hanging, and we.
I
The
apologise.
producer Henry told us that the content was no good, so we go take 2 with our spirited leader. So thank you for.
It's an exciting one, I think. Like, even chatting to you off mic, off camera, it's such a fascinating market growth story, like just wellness and recovery and trying to understand it and longevity. And even now, I'm referencing longevity more than what I did 3 months ago. I don't think I ever mentioned that. It was wellness and recovery. And now it's just, there's so many other little nooks and crannies that we're going into. So I'm really excited to learn from you today about what all that looks like.
Is that because I took you to Remedy Place and you had an IV drip?
I might have been hooked from that. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Really?
Unreal experience, yeah.
So what do you get?
So Remedy Place, for those that don't know, it's in Hollywood. So it was a pretty cool experience in itself. And yeah, they got like a smorgasbord of services and premium offering. We got IV drips,
Cryo.
cryo.
How was that?
Yeah, I've done cryo before. I really like the cold.
I know.
So I'm not sure what it is. It's something, don't know, mentally, I think, but I really like the cold. But
You were great in there, actually. He put on these binaural beats and
I was off.
we were all in with Henry as well, and you were so calm.
Yeah.
I was shivering.
It's I think that's all the body fat that I've got stored around. But yeah, look, I'm keen to learn from you. I know our listeners are certainly asking questions about like, how do we do wellness?
Yeah, because I think
how do we do
a lot of
recovery?
our listeners are like traditional fitness spaces that are probably dipping their toe in recovery or wellness. Wellness is very broad, and I'd be interested in a moment because we have had a previous guest, Bart.
Our man Bart.
Shout out to Bart.
He'll be listening.
He would be listening.
Well, you better be.
But we asked him what he thought wellness was. But I'm interested to hear what you think wellness is. What's your definition of wellness? Because it's quite a broad thing, and I think it's very much up to interpretation and where you sort of sit in the grand scheme of things. But
I actually don't love the word wellness.
yep.
Maybe because it's overused and you see it everywhere, even though my name or our name is Refined Wellness.
Yep.
But it's well-being, it's health, it's, there's so many words that you can use interchangeably for wellness, longevity, recovery, well-being, health, fitness.
Fitness falls into wellness, really,
exactly.
in my mind.
Yeah, so I see wellness as the sort of top name, and then it tiers down to all these different functions that it can potentially be. And wellness can be stepping out into the sunlight and on grass or going for a swim in the ocean. But then it can be, doing your diagnostic testing and hyperbaric chambers and those advanced. So I think it's so broad and it's so hard to say what wellness actually is. But for me, it's well-being, living a good life.
I don't mind that. Yeah, what's wellness to you, Jerem?
I think it's like an overarching thing. Like I think fitness is part of it. Staying healthy is part of it. Even like we had another previous guest, Fee, that spoke about mindfulness. I think mindfulness forms part of it as well. That probably it's not just the physical things that we can do. It's also the wellness of your mind and keeping yourself in a level space. I think it's part of it for me.
Absolutely.
What about you, Barry?
I think if I really look at it, it's about getting me to operate at my optimum level for as long as I can. I'm not really I don't look too far ahead. So the health span thing for me, that seems important. Like when I'm in my 70s and 60s, I want to still be active and physically fit. But for me to look that far ahead right now, I can't really contextualize that. So it's like right now, wellness to me is I want to have energy. I want to be focused. I want to be able to operate at my highest level for as long as I can every day. I want to jump on podcasts and be focused, switched on. We're drinking green tea for those that are listening. Very, very wellness, very bougie, T2 tea.
Peppermint, can't have caffeine past.
Looking for sponsors also, T2, if you're out there listening. So yeah, that'd be me. And then to do as much as you can to try and get that. And I think that's the magic, because you can commercialise that. That's a pretty cool, that's a just cause to want to build out. And so keen to hear from you, Anna, and your experience. Like I see, and let's focus on health and fitness for a moment. Everyone's trying to get a piece of the wellness. I know you don't like wellness anymore, so I'm going to have to think of another word. That pie, and like how do you commercialise that in a health and fitness facility? What are if someone came to you today and said, hey, I've got a big box gym, I've got 200, 300 square metres of space, I want to put a wellness offering in there and I want to commercialise it. How do you steer that conversation? How do you go through that process?
I love the fitness industry for this reason, because you're able to make modalities and wellness accessible to the masses. How do you make it commercial? Again, you need to target who your demographic is, who your client is, who your member is, and from there you choose your offering. And over time, we've sort of seen two ways that people are going about it. Are you adding that additional tier, or are you charging that one-off session? Which I don't love the one-off session. I think the additional tier is where fitness has the advantage, and building out the offering and building out a flow and protocol that fits that demographic. Like you can add $10 to a membership, 300 members, and you are making a great business decision, but for your members, they're able to get great results.
So yeah, I think the tier, that's cool. That's good insight. I think that centralised approach to the member is clear in everything you're talking about. How do you distinguish like a wellness user now? Like, me and Jeremy, our version of wellness is different to yours. Like what are you seeing out there? And this is probably another question without notice, but it's like, what are you seeing out there in terms of consumer? The Barrys of the world are looking for this. The Jerems of the world are looking for that. Are you seeing like a pattern there? What are they looking for?
I think the consumer can be anyone. And over time, that consumer is going to grow. Because when I first started the business 5 years ago, people sort of laughed at me and they were like, selling saunas, like what? And over time, getting friends, family in it, they're like, wow, this is changing my life. So it's, fitness, you can add these modalities and get people to try it once. They'll fall in love, and then it can, spread and spread and spread. I think the traditional, we were talking about longevity before, traditionally a little while ago, it was those high corporate males, not to be sexist, but high corporate males that want to perform and, work these long hours and then do these sort of things to help them perform better. But over time, that is evolving, and more women are coming into it, the everyday users coming into it. So for fitness and the consumer, I think it can be anyone. Like, just do it.
I think it's like with any business, like certain members of certain types of facilities have an expectation of what they're willing to do out of that facility. So it's like when you're looking at what you're going to have in your space, all right, well, what suits our member? You look at, say, like one of the 24/7s, like an Anytime or a Snap. They're like one of the franchisees in Brisbane talks about it really well. He references them as being a DIY facility. So people go in, they don't expect any programming or classes. They go and do their own fitness. So when it comes to the wellness or recovery side of it, they kind of need it to be the same. So people will go in, and it needs to be really easy for people to just go and use, because that's what they're used to doing in those spaces. Whereas if you've got a facility that's got like high touch points in their fitness offering, members are more inclined to want to have that fuller experience in the recovery space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like when you're targeting certain people, like athletes are going to want wellness for recovery, whereas like my mum, for example, she refused to get in a gym, but I was like, just go to the sauna, let's go. And now she's going to the gym because she's like, oh, health. So there's just different clientele, different members.
Yeah.
Do you find when you're working with health and fitness brands that they're bringing in a different customer, or is it more their captive audience that they're already got in a facility that are using the services that they add in a wellness recovery space?
Absolutely, bringing in new clientele.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. And like Fernwood, for example, their membership offering, they do offer just wellness membership, which is then in turn leading to membership sales of their gym as well.
The other one that I would be interested to hear if you've experienced this, but fitness operators generally will look at a space. So say that example where Barry said he's opening a space, he's got 200 square metres. They'll look at it as fitness people will say, all right, how do I maximise my return on that 200 square metres? Whereas some things that I've dealt with in the past in sort of the spa wellness side of things, it's been a bit more experience based. So we're designing this space for this flow and this protocol, and I probably don't talk to the flashy stuff very well, but they're very different. They're both looking at designing gyms or the space in a different way. Do you find that with now that you're doing more gym stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about the flow.
Yeah, right.
All about the flow.
Can you talk more about that, because you're quite passionate about that, and I've heard you speak about it. Why is that important, the flow?
The way, I think, because it is such a new industry as well, I think if your member can walk into the space and they sort of know where to start, where to go next, how many cycles to do it, and if it's laid out in a way that makes that easy, then that's the way to do it, right? So like putting random saunas in different places, or your infrared right next to your showers, which we don't really want to encourage that. It is all about the layout and what to do next, and then how many cycles to do it.
Because I remember it was probably 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I went to Wairiki in New Zealand with probably one of the leaders in fitness and
luxury
fitness spaces, and we all commented on this facility and how it was really set up about the flow of it, as opposed to just, all right, how many infrared saunas can we fit in this space? How many pools can we fit around this area? Like, it was very different. It was set up around buying a session where you followed this protocol for 2 hours that worked your way around the facility, and you end up with mud on your face and then washing it off in a steam room. And it was very, very different to how like a lot of fitness facilities had looked at it. It's like, all right.
I think too.
I don't think Australia's nailing that either.
No, that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, like, so Starpool is one of our manufacturers.
Yep.
They're a 52-year-old company, and that's based, they are so protocol and flow driven, everything they do. But that's based on ancient traditions and how they're implementing it. And Wariki is built from Merthyr, which is another Italian company. And they're the same, you know, following that flow and protocol. That's like one of my biggest goals with wellness in Australia, is being able to implement all those ancient traditions and taking what they know to bring it.
Well, it makes sense when you look at it. You want to be relaxed. It's a lived experience. It's a feeling, and so if it's clunky and awkward, and you're walking through a hallway cold, coming out of the ice bath to your sauna, that's a terrible experience. But if it's the flow is correct, then your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed, and you're moving through each step, leading you through the journey, I suppose.
It's more of an authentic experience in there as well, as opposed to just plonking stuff in there.
Yeah, and I like what you said before about mental well-being. That's a huge part of it in the flow and protocol, and that's what Europeans do really well, which we don't do, is those rest and relax areas. Like the mind for wellness is so important.
I remember going through the Borgo Lanciano in Italy, right? And I'm this Aussie guy, got my board shorts on, and I'm cruising through, and there's a couple of little Italians with maybe some very sort of tight Speedo setup. and he's like, it's the feeling. And I'm like, yeah, relax, mate, I got it. But it was so insightful, and like once I did relax and go through that, like the floor is a certain texture so that your feeling is encouraged, and the lights are a certain colour to encourage a certain emotion. And so I think once operators start to realise that those small 1% things really count, they'll nail it. But if you miss that and you're putting in UV lights and like it's too bright and you don't have the right colour on the wall and you don't have the right curtains, that impacts the experience.
Remedy Place uses Venetian plaster to block EMF through the walls.
Venetian plaster?
What's that?
Well, it's plaster from
I'm
Venice, I reckon. I'm not a rocket scientist.
Sorry, bloke.
I remember this is actually a good example. So we went into this place, and we'd had a few big flights, had a few big nights, and we were about to leave. And so we've gone in, and I can like vividly remember it now. The colour and the texture of the building was nice. The smell was good. It was quiet. But sitting down on the couch, the blanket was unbelievable. I can think of it now.
Blanket.
And so the blanket was amazing. She's like, would you like a little blanket? I was like, nah, yeah, of course I'll take a little blanket. And so I think it's that attention to detail that we got to make sure that in health and fitness, when we're trying to do it at volume and you're trying to scale it, you can't miss the intention of what you're trying to do in that wellness space. It's got to be high quality. It's got to be lived experience. Because if you rush it, you put a plunge in and a sauna and you kind of just put it in where it fits, the user experience isn't nice, and they won't come back and do it again.
And that's what's going to kill the wellness industry.
It comes back to the reason, like, why is it going in there as well, I think. It's probably the same as like when you look at trainers. So I always used to say, I said it in one of our last shows, I'm no good at running boxing sessions, but I run a good functional session. It's kind of the same. Like if you putting it into your space because you're passionate about it and you're invested in that, the different modalities, you're going to build a space that is authentic and has all the nice things. I don't know what you'd call it. But if you're just putting it in there to keep up with the gym down the road, to make a buck, to get extra members, it's not going to have the same experience for your members.
Yeah, I can walk into a space and I can tell.
You can tell?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What are the key tell signs for you that you're like, I'm not going to enjoy this wellness experience?
What you touched on, like all those, as soon as you walk through the door, it's that feeling that you get through lighting, through scents, through how they, if they clean their sauna, what the sauna looks like. I'm so judgmental on saunas.
Even like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like the cleaning detergent or the solution that you use to clean the sauna and what it smells like is going to have an impact on the user experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important to not just put things in and go, cool, there's consumer and demand, it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about what's the experience like, not just the protocol will work because, contrast therapy works.
I'm interested in, because one of the biggest things you see commercial gyms putting in now is infrared saunas.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on infrared saunas?
Depends what infrared sauna.
Yeah. Like, say, compared to a traditional Finnish sauna.
So it's so funny. I had this conversation literally probably an hour ago on a meeting, and people either sway traditional or infrared. I love both because there's just purely knowing the science of both. Like infrared's great for, it's literally recharging all your cells, but you don't get the cardiovascular benefits and detoxification benefits of your traditional. But I'm loving a solution that's a hybrid sauna, so you have traditional in there, so you're getting that detox, sweat, cardiovascular, and then there's infrared panels that go down your spine, and it's getting all the nerve endings and you're getting all the benefits of infrared therapy.
I can't understand just yet. I haven't figured it out. But the perceived value of that experience versus 1,000 square metre gym with $1 million of equipment in it are at complete opposite ends of the scale. So let me give you an example. I go to a recovery centre just around the corner from my place. It's $50 a week or something, or $40 a session or something. Mm-hmm. And so I'll do one a month. I'll do a plunge. I'll do a sauna. I'll come out and I'm like, I feel really good. Mm-hmm. I'll then go to the gym where I pay $15 a week, and I'm kind of like, there's a big gym down the road that I can, it's $13 a week. Do I go there? And you constantly hear gym owners, battling it out for that $2 a week versus the gym down the road, where a high-end wellness recovery centre is, maybe investing $500,000 of equipment, but they're charging $50, $60 a week, and the consumer's like, yeah, that's cool. The perceived value is just so different.
It's the feeling when you walk out, I think. Like, I could have the option of adding so much wellness equipment into my house, well, sort of, but I still choose to go to the wellness centres and just that feeling that you get after.
It's amazing though, isn't it? When you think about it, gym owners are investing big money, lots of equipment, and they have an impact and people are leaving feeling great. But I know, even me, just the perceived value of a plunge and a sauna, which maybe it's easy and it's a lived experience. I don't know. It's just I can't get my head around it yet, the gap. That's a $30, $40 gap per week, and it's just no dramas. They'll pay it.
One of the biggest questions I get from business owners that have gym facilities that are looking to do secondary facilities is like, how do I model? What's some good models you've seen? And I
just tell them to call me.
I do actually. There's a few instances where I've done that. But what do you reckon is like the best model for that standalone space? Because you hear so many things: memberships, visit passes, like so many visits per week.
This may be a bit controversial, but
we like controversy.
I don't love standalone wellness centres.
Yeah,
like they're still doing well, and they're growing, and there's stats on that. But I think the whole thing of if you can make wellness accessible and affordable to the masses, I just love that. So if a gym, a space can add wellness in the right way, and you can be charging $50 a week extra, but they have the opportunity to use it 3 or 4 times a week. Because that's the thing with wellness, right, is you need to be using it consistently. Yeah. With these standalone centres, you go once and you pay $60, $50 for one infrared sauna session, which is cool, which is amazing. They're beautiful, they're great. I still go there. But for the masses and where I see this industry going and where I want this industry to go is for people to be using it more.
And I suppose from a business sense, you want people coming multiple times.
Yeah.
And it costs a certain amount to set it up. So you need to set it up to make a profit as well, because you've only got so many billable hours within your business per day, really. So that's one of the challenges.
you've been to a fair few global wellness summits, which would be an amazing experience, and you would have seen so many innovative new things. What is the two-part question? What are you seeing globally that's happening out there that we're not doing in Australia?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll hold my second one and I'll give you that one after the answer.
So recently went to Dubai for the Global Wellness Summit. That was insane. Never been to Dubai before. They are definitely leading the charge in all things wellness, longevity, health. I think the difference between Dubai and Australia is legalisation of certain things. So peptides, stem cells, filtration of blood, all that. That's probably where they're leading, and people are spending thousands and thousands of that. But also the gym model, there are gyms, it's called Cyro over there, but they have gyms that have these full longevity centres, but it's all integrated, and it's all, because wellness, when you asked me before, what is it? It is an integrated approach, and fitness is a pillar of wellness, and there's no point in doing all these modalities and going to these wellness centres if you're not training. So it's, I think Dubai's, to come back to your answer, I think Dubai's definitely leading the charge in that through testing, diagnostics, DNA, and their advanced modalities. I think America's really cool in their group space wellness, so models like Othership. We're not really seeing that here in Australia. I would love for Othership to come to Australia.
Is that the big saunas with the community sauna?
Community sauna, and they do sort of breath work, sound bowl healing, little bit woo-woo, but love it.
Oh, I like a bit of woo-woo. Are we going to... It's funny, isn't it? It's particularly you'd imagine in like California and some of those states where they're a little bit more progressive with that stuff, it would be really well received. But in Australia, there's some certainly pockets that would be right into that.
Absolutely.
Back on like the ability to get more people in there, it'll be interesting. There's probably not a really affordable entry-level model to go in and just do base-level stuff. Am I wrong? Is that...
Cancel gyms, I think have got the old sauna steam.
That's probably where
they've been forever, right?
Yeah, but I remember I was
bit creepy though.
I was at QREC. I worked at QREC Centre, and the stuff that went on was just
a bit. It's a different experience, isn't it? That's an amazing contrast. It's like similar product, completely different experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the pool deck. It smells of chlorine, and amongst other things. It's not a nice experience. You're looking out through the glass, checking it. Like there's people everywhere.
Yeah,
I think that was one thing that Mirtha touched on. It's like when you're looking out of a sauna, if you can look at it natural beauty or natural light, it changes the entire emotive and the entire physical experience as well as the mental experience. And I was like, until you sit there and you look out and they got the sauna and it's looking out over the mountains and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Sitting at a track, the old Thomastown wreck, staring out at the pool deck and the lifeguards cruising around in the high vis, it is a very different experience.
Good people watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Othership, cool. Dubai. I mean, the disposable cash, I suppose, in some of those areas drives the innovation.
But then the other thing is Europe as well, and Japan. And that's the thing, the world is so interesting. This is why I love it. Like I was just in Japan, going to their onsens, amazing. But then going to Europe and they're using, like my first FIBO actually, I went to this German sort of bathhouse thing, not knowing that everyone was going to be naked. This was 4 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen so many old men's.
insert expletive here. It's crazy, isn't it, to think the barriers are so different depending on culture.
But that's kind of that culture. It's part of an everyday lifestyle. Like you look, onsens are a thing in Japan that everyone just goes and
literally
does. That's what I was kind of trying to get at before, where it's still at a point now here, unless you're going to leisure centres. But leisure centres, it was only a certain small portion of the members that would use it. It's still at a point where it probably it costs a bit to be able to do this stuff because there's not that. It has to be a profitable business. It's still quite privatised.
Yeah, agree. And a lot of people, like, do you guys, well, you said you do. Do you use a sauna?
No.
Yeah.
Starting to get pretty hot in this office, but
I was just thinking that. Yeah, no.
Sweating a little bit.
yeah. I think you mentioned something earlier that I'm keen to unpack with you. You said that fitness is a part of wellness, and it just I had a moment where I was like, fitness is part of wellness. Okay. We're sort of looking at it the other way around in Australia, particularly because fitness is such a big player. There's so many facilities, and they're trying to figure out how do they fit wellness into their fitness offering versus them being a wellness provider and they're fitting fitness into their wellness strategy. And so is that what you see? And I know definitely in Europe, it's like their gym is 20% and their wellness option is like 80% of their space. It's like, are you seeing that different countries have different, like you mentioned that around Dubai. So is there a different mix like that?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Back to your first point though, like when I say that, I see wellness as this overarching thing and there's sort of key pillars to it, right? Fitness is one of them. Health tech is one of them. Mindfulness is one of them. Breathwork is one of them. You know, there's just so many sort of aspects to wellness.
Essentially, they're just terms, aren't they? Like they're just labels. Like I remember I was at the YMCA and for years everything was called health and wellness, and then it got changed to health and fitness because it was for Google searching. Like people, we weren't popping up quick enough, so we changed like high enough, so it changed from health and wellness purely to health and fitness, so that we'd pop up.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I don't know.
Back in the 80s.
When did I finish? I finished there probably 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, right.
But even like, and same thing was swim lessons. Swim lessons they used to call aquatic education, but no one Google searched aquatic education, so they changed it to swim lessons. But like they're just labels. Like it's
with your global lens. Do you think that eventually the Australian market will be more? It's the Australian wellness market, and under that there's a fitness market, there's a recovery market, there's a mental health market.
Yeah. I've never thought about it like that, but yeah, I do.
Because you can just see that, again, back to the perceived value, there's so much more value that people are placing on wellness than they are fitness. And I think there's this internal struggle, I think, of people. It's like, would I go and do a sauna and a plunge or do I go for a run? And I think it shouldn't be one or the other, but you can start to see that's going to really transform the way that we consume health, fitness and wellness in Australia.
That's how I do it. Like if I train every day, do wellness every day, but then if there's a day where I'm like, oh my God, I got so much to do, it's like, all right, do I go for a run? Do I train or go sauna and ice bath? And it's sort of, I put them all sort of on the same tier. Yep.
Physiological benefits of sauna. You said earlier that there's cardiovascular benefits. Can you explain that a little bit? How does that work? I'm not running. I'm not getting my, how do I get cardiovascular benefit from sitting in a sauna?
Because your heart's beating so fast.
from the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because the room's so hot, your body's working so hard to cool down. And there's so many studies on it. There's and it's an ancient thing. So Finland, there was a study done in Finland where is 80% decrease in heart attacks if you sauna 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, just from...
That's big. Mm-hmm. All those Finnish people,
we like
they're so relaxed.
It when people bring stats, don't we?
We do like stats.
I've got one for you.
Drop it. It better be, I don't know if it's as good as that, 80%.
Do you know more people have heart attacks playing squash than any other sport?
Really?
Is that because you're generally pretty old when you're playing squash?
He's like you're in a sauna. Anyway, good stat.
Any chance we could get that removed, Henry? That was a good one, Jerem. Well done.
I didn't research anything with this one.
It's good. It's interesting, right? I think it's so fascinating to try and get ahead of this curve because, even being in HFA last week at San Diego, health and fitness is typically nuts and bolts, equipment, treadmills, bench presses, little bit of technology growing in there. But to see some of these, like the Immortal Bed and Gariani there and these types of wellness longevity products getting into the mainstream was the first time I've really seen it at a large scale like that, front and center. It wasn't like a secondary offering, it was mainstream.
Yeah. But it's funny though, you still talk to the key operators in the industry and they still don't believe in it.
Why is that?
traditional. Like they're weightlifters. They train hard. They're like, that's all I need.
That's what their business is based around, though.
Exactly.
Like it's kind of, and that's the other thing is not every fitness business needs to put recovery and wellness stuff into their space. Like there is an element, and we spoke about this when Bart was in, of staying in your lane because that's what you're going to do well. Don't just put it in because old mate down the road's putting it in.
Agree. And if you haven't nailed that first model, there's no point in adding something else to try and fix this.
And if you're not going to do a really good job of it.
But that's where we come in to help you.
Yeah.
There's a little plug there. That's good. It's it's easy for us to say that, I think, to not add it and do it, if it's not your mainstream. But if you've got a gym that opens up the road and they do it and you lose 50 members, that could be the difference between you making money and losing money. And it's tough. Members are constantly coming in asking for it. And so I think that's where I'm really looking forward to the next 12 months, I think, particularly with you guys. And more, you can see suppliers in our industry are catching up and then they're providing services to operators to go, hey, we get you don't know how to do it, but we got you. We can help you do it. And then I think that'll see more penetration and a little bit more uptake because not everybody knows how to operate a treadmill to its full extent, but that's why they have us to show them this is what a good gym looks like.
And it's really interesting from another perspective is you see a lot of fitness equipment companies now bringing on board wellness equipment. And I look at the equipment and I'm just like, oh, please stop ruining the industry. But like it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Fitness people don't traditionally do wellness that well.
I think, obviously the partnership that we have and like chatting to you guys and seeing that, you could see we tried it for a little while and it's just like, they're talking about how it feels and the emotion and it's not the same.
But we don't, you guys get it because you live and breathe it and you love it. So you do, again, same as the programming side of it, things like you just deliver it better.
All right, we normally do the quiz, which is a quiz with Jez and Baz, but we're going to do the quaz, which is a quiz with Jez, Baz and Anna. I'm not sure if that works, but you can do something with it.
Can you delete that?
Come and see live, we got the quaz. All right, so we got 4 or 5 fast finishing questions, all right? So we'll wrap it up with a bit of fun. What does refined wellness mean in today's market?
The best wellness equipment supplier.
All right, nice. Why are consumers willing to pay premium for recovery and longevity?
To change the way they think, feel, act, do, be.
Man, you are so wellness, aren't you? Even that answer is just like, where are traditional gyms falling short?
The wrong equipment.
Unless it's NovoFit, obviously. What can commercial operators adopt immediately?
Adding contrast therapy.
What does wellness in the future look like?
Ooh. What does wellness in the future look like?
Maybe let me reframe it. What does wellness in the gym in the future look like?
More people using it, more people doing it, more people having it.
Well, people having access to it would be one thing, Like just, I think.
It's about how people want to feel, and how long they want to live. It's pretty cool, just cause for us to support.
Yeah, I think even you said Gold Coast. Like when you look around my area, there's not any gym that does wellness other than Native State. That's why I go to Native State.
Yeah.
Like Anytime and Currumbin just took out their massage chairs and I was sitting in the sauna at Riggs Recovery and someone was complaining about it and they're like, they need wellness and recovery.
It's hard, isn't it? It's like it's such a tough market. Members can be brutal.
Yeah.
And if you do it wrong, they're out. If you do it right, they want more of it.
But then they run the business as well. Like it's got to be a smart business decision. Like your return on that space.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts from you, Anna, before we wrap it up?
Talk to me if you want wellness.
Yeah. We'll do a little intro and LinkedIn and all the fun stuff. But love what you're doing in the industry. I think you're at the forefront of what's going on. You can see health and fitness people are coming to you to ask, hey, what does wellness look like? You're bringing a lot of innovation that we're excited about. So
we've spoken to a lot of people that have everyone's pretty much touched on it at some point, and you guys are the experts, so it's nice to get it straight from the horse's mouth.
Appreciate you jumping on. That's been a episode
Thanks for having me.
Mate Spot Me. That's the wrap.
Hey.